The Rich Man Who Envied the Poor. In the heart of Lagos, where wealth and poverty danced on opposite sides of the street, there lived a man named William Lawson. He was a tycoon, the owner of Lawson Holdings, a company that controlled real estate, oil, and even transportation. His mansion sat atop Banana Island, where the rich played and the poor could only dream of stepping foot. William had everything: money, power, a fleet of luxury cars, and a house so grand that its chandeliers alone could feed a family for a year. Yet despite his vast wealth, his soul was hollow. Every morning he watched a beggar named Samuel. The man sat at the same street corner, laughing with his fellow beggars, sharing whatever little he had. Samuel wore tattered clothes, his feet cracked from years of walking barefoot, but his eyes sparkled with something William couldn't understand: happiness. William, despite his millions, felt emptiness clawing at his chest. That happiness, the one that money couldn't buy, was what he craved. And so an impossible thought entered his mind. What if I switched places with him? One evening, after a long day of meetings, William sat alone in his private lounge, staring at a glass of expensive whiskey. The walls around him were lined with priceless paintings, yet none of them filled the void inside. His mind wandered back to Samuel. How could a man with nothing be happier than me, he thought. That night, unable to sleep, William drove through the city. His car slowed as he reached Samuel's usual spot. The beggar sat under a dimly lit street lamp, sharing a loaf of bread with a young boy. The laughter of the homeless filled the air. William clenched his fists. He had never laughed that freely. He rolled down his tinted window. "Samuel," he called. The beggar looked up, startled. No one like William had ever spoken to him directly. "I need to talk to you," William said. Samuel hesitated, but then approached. "What's the secret to your happiness?" William asked. Samuel chuckled, his voice warm. "Happiness? It's simple. I have nothing to lose, nothing to fear. I live for today." William's heart pounded. That night, an idea solidified in his mind. He would find a way to live as Samuel, to trade his wealth for a taste of that freedom. But he had no idea what darkness lay ahead. William Lawson couldn't shake the thought from his mind. He wanted, no, needed to experience the life of the poor man who laughed so freely. But how? He couldn't just walk away from his empire. His business partners, employees, and even the media watched his every move. Yet the hunger to understand Samuel's happiness burned inside him. The next evening, William returned to the same street corner, this time dressed casually in jeans and a simple shirt. Samuel sat in his usual spot, humming an old tune while playing a makeshift drum with an empty tin can. William took a deep breath. "Samuel, if you had the chance to be rich for a while, would you take it?" Samuel squinted at him. "Rich," he laughed. "Money is good, but I have no use for it beyond food and shelter." William leaned in. "What if I told you I wanted to live as you for a time? No one would know. I could disappear from my world and you could live in mine." Samuel stared, his face unreadable. "You want to be me?" "Yes," William said, his voice firm. "Just for a while. I need to know what it feels like to be free." Samuel scratched his chin. "And what do I get in return?" "Everything I have," William said. "You'll live in my mansion, wear my clothes, eat my food." Samuel chuckled. "Sounds like a strange dream." Then his expression grew serious. "But if you truly want this, I accept." The two men shook hands under the dim glow of the streetlight, sealing a deal that neither of them understood the full consequences of their plan. The plan was simple. Samuel would move into William's mansion under the guise of being a reclusive William who wished to avoid the public eye. The mansion's staff would obey, as none of them dared question their boss. Meanwhile, William, disguised in ragged clothes, would vanish into the streets. At first, it was exhilarating. William roamed the bustling streets of Lagos without security guards shadowing him. He ate roasted corn from a roadside vendor, something he had never dared to do as a rich man. He slept under the open sky, feeling the cool night breeze instead of air-conditioned silence. He was alive. But reality struck fast. Hunger gnawed at his stomach. The streets were ruthless. Beggars fought over scraps. Rain fell mercilessly, soaking his clothes, leaving him shivering in the cold. And worst of all, people no longer looked at him with respect. One night, as William huddled under a bridge, a group of thugs approached. "New face around here," one of them sneered. "Got anything on you?" William had never been afraid of men like these before. He used to command their respect from the safety of his wealth. But now he was just another helpless soul in the dark. And for the first time in his life, he understood true fear. William Lawson, a powerful and wealthy businessman in Lagos, has everything money can buy: luxury, influence, and status. Yet he feels an unbearable emptiness inside. Consumed by curiosity and envy, William proposes an unusual deal. They will switch lives. Samuel will live in his mansion as a wealthy man, while William will experience life as a poor man. At first, William finds his new life exhilarating. He enjoys the freedom of anonymity, the simple pleasures of street food, and the absence of corporate pressure. But soon, the harsh realities of poverty hit him: hunger, danger, and the cruelty of the streets. He learns that life without wealth is not just about freedom, it is about survival. Meanwhile, Samuel, now living as William, faces his own struggles. Wealth comes with burdens, fake friends, greedy associates, and the suffocating loneliness of power. As William desperately searches for a way back to his old life, he discovers a shocking truth. Samuel has no intention of switching back. The beggar turned billionaire now enjoys the luxuries of wealth and will do anything to keep them. Betrayed and trapped in his new identity, William realizes he has lost more than money. He has lost himself. A suspenseful, thrilling tale of envy, power, and the true price of wealth, The Rich Man Who Envied the Poor, explores the dangerous consequences of wishing for another man's life.
Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Please subscribe, like, and share if this story has impacted you. And stay tuned for more videos. Mr. Feel's Concept.